It's really just kind of being an unnoticed part of the community that really like holds everything together. We are so intertwined. We are a backbone in the community that often doesn't get recognized because the hospital needs us, the doctors need us, any healthcare professional needs us to be able to make their spaces comfortable for their patients. And we're a part of restaurants, so we're a part of your entertainment, and then we're a part of your home. Anywhere that you look, Sewline can kind of like sneak in and just be a part of it. On our sign it says, adding comfort to your life since 1990.
Talking about COVID a little bit? Was that the...
No, it wasn't the COVID thing. It was just my beginning days.
Oh.
Yeah, it's quite a legacy and try to, yeah. That's how I started. Downtown, there's no table around it. This is at my other one-day operation. And then I used to work for these guys.
Making a business 30 years ago, there wasn't really ever like that business plan of like, what's your mission statement, and like this whole like chalked out kind of form of how to do things. But honestly, like I think if I just kind of like look at my dad and just who he is and what he's made the business, it's really him. It's his personality, it's his friendliness, his kindness, and his like ability just to like listen and understand customers. My dad has owned Sewline for almost 33 years. He essentially started a couple months after I was born. He has been doing upholstery for much longer than that, I believe 40 some odd years, and he started right out of high school. This has been our family business, like I said, since I was born, and I always had some part of it at some stage in my life. We would do swimming lessons at the hill pool during the summer, and then we would have to come here and hang out. We have pictures of us like sitting in people's boats or cars, like just these ridiculous things. Over the years, as we know, my dad can only do so much, and really he's the face and the persona of our business. And even myself being his daughter, people don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to him.
The raw plywood doesn't, everything's all hidden nice and professionally.
He's the guy that needs to be doing the quoting and kind of the sales side of things, and that interaction with the customers, because that's who they want to deal with.
Numbers are definitely down, but I can only produce so much.
We've known throughout the years that we've always needed people in the back to be able to continue, obviously, completing the services and the projects and things. And so we have found that it's been increasingly harder to find people in Canada or even just locally to be able to come and fill those positions for us. And that's just because upholstery is kind of a dying trade.
Yeah, they didn't reproduce. Now John tells me he did 2 guys, one is me, but I only remember one.
We've tried to train people ourselves, but if you don't have people completing the jobs, you can't train anybody because there's no cash flow coming in. So when we can't find what we need, we kind of have to outsource. 10 or 15 years ago, we had pursued a couple different gentlemen, one from the UK, one from Jamaica, and they were able to come over and work for us, and everything was great. They are master upholsterers, and they were able just to come in and pick up and work and do excellent work that was up to the standard that my dad was delivering previously. And as life goes on, we know not everything is permanent, and they've had to make decisions for their own families and to move on and do different things, and that's totally fine. But we've come up to a point again where we just can't find anything. And so we had found a gentleman, and he was a Filipino living in Kuwait, and everything it took over a year and everything started to fall together. He should have been here in early 2020, and then COVID hit, and he's still not here, and it's just been a complete goose chase, really. We're in contact with him. People think that it's a scam, but we haven't given him any, he doesn't have anything. He hasn't, there's nothing that he's gotten from this that he would benefit from at this point. But there is still chances of him being able to come, and we're hoping he can come by the end of the month or into April. But it's hard because there has been so many times where, oh, he's coming, he has his ticket, and then they won't let him through. So in all of this, we've learned that Kuwait isn't the easiest place to bring people from. I admittedly have a problem. I really love furniture. I love chairs. I have a problem with buying chairs and saving them. The worst befores are the best afters, and we have a lot of those, and those are always my favorite when there's a shock factor to it, oh my gosh, that you can't tell me that's the same chair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
So whoa.
yeah.
That's a great before and after.
Yeah.
I've had really good stories from different antique furniture. A lot of times it's, it was my grandmother's, it was from the farm, or they brought it over from England when they came over. A lot of pieces are like that. But a lot of times it's just, I remember my grandma sitting in this, and this was her chair, and then they, will find a fabric that speaks to them, whether it's for their space or to memorialize that individual. Oftentimes it's just that family heirloom, and that I just really love. All the stories are always different and unique in some way, but at the end of the day, it's somebody honoring somebody's legacy, and I think that's the best part.
Get our workers in place so we can bring it back up to the service that people are used to. Can I leave?
Yep.